What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Keep Pound Den pregame here as the Panthers get ready for the biggest game of the year here against the Saints at Bank of America Stadium. That will kick off at 8:15. We're here for the next half hour or so to take your comments, your concerns, basically throwing everything at the Saints tonight, including the kitchen sink, and we'll see if the Panthers can save their season. We are, of course, powered by the Riot Network, powered by Ortho Carolina, that is, part of the Riot Network. Check out our family here, one-day contract. It is what it is. The Roaring Riot Podcast, and we come to you twice a week. Here tonight, sitting alongside my dudes, Chris and Bobby. Chris is over at Peppa Jack NBB. Bobby's at Tacos and Slurpees. And, guys, here we are. We've come a long way from 6-2, a bad long way from 6-2. Yeah. But it all comes down to this, huh, Bobby?
I guess so. I guess this is where we are right now, and I don't even know what to expect. I don't know what to think. I don't know what to say. Other than put up or shut up. And as I said a couple weeks ago, it's one of those games where either want it or you don't, and they'll show us what they got.
Yeah, I mean, Panthers did at least get some good news in the last 15, 20 minutes or so. Looks like Quan Short will play this game. I think that kind of says a lot, at least, if as far as putting it all on the line tonight. Chris, that makes you feel a little better, right?
I feel great. You guys are the ones wearing all black like you're at a damn funeral.
That's what this is, Chris.
It's not over. It's not over.
Well, with Philly and Minnesota winning, Seattle and Washington did lose on Sunday, but that 5% is really a glaring number right now. Chris, I think you termed it best. Is this a must-win or a can't-lose? You tell me.
I think it's a can't-lose. It's got to be a can't-lose in my eyes.
Yeah, I mean, I never thought of it that way. That's a pretty because there is a big difference, right, between a must-win and a can't-lose.
Oh, big time.
And guys, on the line tonight, if you do need anyone turned up or whatever, just let me know. Sometimes it's a little different than what we actually hear in our headphones, so I'd be happy to fix any audio issues. And thanks for joining in over on Twitter, Periscope, whatever. They're the same company, YouTube and Facebook. But man, hopefully the Bank of America is rocking tonight. I think that's a big. Granted, I'm not there. You can call me out for not being there, but I think that's a big thing. You can't go out like this at home, right, guys? I mean, Panthers.
Sure, they can.
At least hold on to your home record, right?
Of course they can.
Yeah, right. Of course they can.
And hey, I was gonna say, please be able to send the broom and wine back, but Cam pretty much took the words from right from our tweet here, and he's wearing the cleats tonight. That includes a wine bottle and also a broken broomstick.
Quidditch broom, I believe.
Oh, it is the Harry Potter font.
Very specific type of broom.
No Graham Gano tonight as well, guys. That did come in too. So.
I mean, that's what Panther World want, right? They hated Graham Gano so much he's gone. And then everybody that you've called out this year, something's oddly happened to them in some type of way. So I don't know what type of voodoo or what witch you're working with, but everybody you've had a problem with has somehow evaporated.
Well, did you call out Drew Brees?
I have not called out Drew Brees yet. I could, though.
Ooh, but I could go downstairs and get Luke's Infinity Gauntlet, and
there you go.
Maybe that'll work.
Bobby's got a point there. I did say we obviously called out Graham Gano. He gets hurt. We said we wanted to see more Ian Thomas. Greg Olsen gets hurt. I don't know. And then actually we wanted to see more Cornelder. And what happens?
You wanted to see more Cornelder.
Yeah, right.
We definitely saw as much Cornelder as we wanted to. So
you hate Cam Newton, and Panthers, but you love Cornelder.
Right, and people saying, well, that is because he hates the Panthers. Yeah, they'll talk about that all day. But again, I don't know. Panthers rolling into this with the biggest either must-win or can't-lose of the season. This will define the season. Got to at least keep up with the Vikings. One of the things that people are talking about is obviously the Saints have their 2 losses to the Cowboys and the Bucs. 2 weird teams that the Panthers have coincidentally beaten both of those teams.
Well, we split with the Bucs.
Well, they have beat the Bucs. Like they have a win over the Bucs. Cowboys, Panthers technically put up more points on the Cowboys defense than the Saints did.
We beat the Cowboys in week 1.
We didn't beat the
Cowboys.
And the Bucs week 4, I think.
Yeah, I mean the teams, and again I'll go back to this. The teams that we beat at the time that we beat them weren't good teams. So the Cowboys are not the same
Cowboys
team
would
that they were.
curb stomp us right now.
Yeah, the Cowboys are
think
not
so?
that same team that they were.
Even though they got ran over by the Colts yesterday, they would probably sack Cam 9 times.
Good gosh, that's a lot.
So what was the big deal? Week.
Confidence.
I'm saying, then why didn't they do that week 1? Same defense.
I mean, we're not worried
Cooper.
about.
We were
with Amari
confident.
Cooper. Without Amari Cooper, that is. Sorry, you said the Panthers only won that game because they were confident.
Confidence certainly
I
helped.
don't know about that. I think.
I don't think it's the only reason they won, but you can't tell me with a straight face that you think this Panther team this week would beat the Cowboys this week.
I think we have a chance, but I also think playing in Charlotte helps out a lot too.
Yeah,
I think that played a part in it, and also, guys, let's not forget Cam Newton's shoulder wasn't as injured as it is now, and I mean it wasn't as fatigued as it is now.
Healthy Graham Gano.
Yeah, we had a really good team at that time.
Greg Olsen.
And I mean, don't forget the defense played well.
Well,
so,
we didn't have a healthy Greg Olsen in that game. Didn't he hurt his foot like the second play?
I mean,
we started the game with a healthy Greg Olsen.
We went into that game with more of a healthy team and a prepared team. I felt like because if you looked at our game plan, we forced Dak to make the plays that he couldn't make. You look at our game plan now, week in and week out, you can't tell what we're trying to do. You can't tell whether we're trying to stop the run or stop the pass. Totally different team on offense and defense than we were at the beginning of the season. And I mean, just to be real with you, that game, our team didn't look great. Our defense just made a few more stops. Our offense looked horrible. So if you want to be honest, I didn't care for our offense that game. But, at the end of the day, here we are. We stand here. What is this, week 14? Mm-hmm. Week 15. Yeah, week 15. We sit here. We're facing the Saints in Charlotte, playoffs on the line. I've been told that I can't say the P word, which is playoffs, anymore by Chris or Den. So I'm saying
$3 that one ramp.
I'm saying postseason. So here we are with the postseason hopes on the line, and regardless of what we did in week 1, we ain't doing it now, especially on defense. So I just hoping for the best at this point. I've seen a lot of people say I look nervous in the comments, and a lot of people saying I need to have faith. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, there is the point there that the Cowboys were down 2 D linemen in that game as well. So.
Oh, that's right. It was what's crackhead from Nebraska?
Yeah.
Gregory.
Right.
Was Des Lawrence out for that game too?
I think
Donald Lawrence.
No,
I'm not
Lawrence
sure.
played that game. I think
he played it. Yeah, as a matter of fact, he did play that game because they were talking to him before the game, or the day before the game, about potentially sacking Cam. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think he did play that game. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, again, I think the Panthers have to bring literally everything to the table tonight. I joked on the podcast during the week that as long as they're near midfield, don't even punt the ball tonight. Like don't put your defense. Your only chance is putting points up on these Saints, not rolling out our defense and saying that we're going to stop them. So I think you're going to see a lot of 4th and 2s, 4th and 3s that you have to go for, right? I mean, there's not even a question in this game.
I mean, this is it's typical save my job Ron Rivera. I mean, this is where he somehow holds on to his job. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is when you're going to see everybody's going to be, where was Riverboat all season?
No, you're going to get Riverboat the max. Tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he has no choice. He's trying to save his job. You know what I mean? Like I think Ron is more focused on keeping his job, and people can call me crazy or whatever, but he's more focused on keeping his job right now than anything, and that's more than winning this game, including. Trust me, he wants his job, and I think he's going to be more focused on doing whatever it takes. He's going to pull out all the stops, and that includes going for it on 4th and 3, 4th and 8, whatever it takes to get it done. As Chris said, you're going to see more than Riverboat tonight.
Well, and I wonder how much of that, bringing out all the stops includes Quan Short playing tonight. I wonder if
that I don't get too much.
Well, he was doubtful all week.
Yeah, but why risk your best defensive lineman by a country mile?
Yeah. In
a game that, let's call it what it is, it doesn't matter.
But also on that is Vernon Butler active as well. Generally, you don't see or haven't been seeing them both active.
Right, and he's active because you don't know what you're going to get out of Short tonight.
Well, the other thing is, and we'll get into this later in how to beat the Saints, but they talked about, the secrets out there. The Cowboys and the Bucks did it. Generally, DNs don't get this done. So actually, you do see F.A. Obata getting the inactive, and Haynes as well, going with more interior guys. Interesting there, Bobby. I said maybe this is the game that Vernon Butler stuffs you in a locker. What do you think?
Ain't nobody stuffing that man in a locker. Nobody.
Bobby doesn't like it.
I mean, I'm not even going to comment. I mean,
Yeah,
you're talking about
next question.
I mean, you're talking about Vernon Butler doing something, and that doesn't happen. So I'm not even going to comment on it.
Well, actually, interestingly enough, Edgar Salmingo Jr. tweeted out today some of the guys that the Panthers could have had instead of Vernon Butler. Those guys include Hunter Henry, Chris Jones, Xavier Howard, Sterling Shepard, Derrick Henry, and Michael Thomas. Could have been.
I mean, it's always easy to go back and do.
It
that.
is just when you look at that list.
Hindsight's 50-50.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, and a lot of people did that with Christian McCaffrey last year. Like, we could have had, and it's with all due respect to Edgar, I love what he does. Shout out to Edgar, by the way. But I see a lot of that in our fan base. It's like, we could have had such and such if we didn't draft this person. And while I do definitely agree about the Vernon Butler move, he's here. We got to deal with it, and we got to find a way to get rid of it, and that's him. So I think right now the focus should be more on how can we get rid of him and move on, and what can we do to replace him. Versus who we could have had, because who we could have had is gone.
I love this comment coming in, by the way. Vernon couldn't stuff a teddy bear. That's something that you'd like as well. Well, hey, let's get to some cards. What we do is we put up some cards on the screen that you might be familiar with, and we're gonna go ahead and throw in some scenarios. So let's fill in some of the blanks here. Let's go with the first one. Bobby, we'll throw you the first one, man.
What up?
Bigger concern tonight against the Saints, Panthers offensive line or the Panthers' defensive line? The Saints come into this game 6th in the NFL in sacks. I think it's 41. But on the other side of the ball, if you don't pressure Drew Brees, you can kiss this one away. What's your bigger concern of the two?
Wait, before he answers, isn't Teron Armstead out tonight?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Boom, I love it. D-line. I'm going to D-line. Let's just keep it real. Cam Newton's been here for 8 years. He knows how to work with the horrible offensive line at this point. He knows how to make plays with a bad offensive line. But with this D-line, if Brees has time, it's over. I mean, the pressure just can't be around him because he steps back into the pocket like nobody I've ever seen before. Like he scoots right into the pocket. He has to be hit. Like oftentimes with Drew Brees, he's so short that when players are reaching for him, they hit his face mask. So I've seen times where we've been close to bringing him down, but we hit his face mask, 15-yard penalty. They have to watch that, and they have to aim for the sack versus being satisfied attacking his invisible bubble. So a lot of the times I see Panthers get through and they're like, it almost feels like, we got here and we pressured him. You can't give up with that invisible bubble. You have to hit Drew Brees' body to get him out of the pocket. Drew Brees on the run is what you want.
Yeah, and the one thing about Drew Brees, though, is he's probably one of the best in the NFL at stepping up, again, with pressure. Basically, like I said, the DNs really have a tough time with him. And where is the strength in this Panthers defensive line lately? I don't even really know.
Well, I mean, we know where
you're saying it like we have a strength on the defense.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I mean,
it's in the $80 million contract that we're not getting. K1 Short is the anchor, should be the anchor of this defense. With all due respect to Mario Addison and Julius Peppers, let's just keep it real. I think when we lost Starla Tulele, that 1-2 punch at our DT position really, really hit us. So I think even though Star's numbers haven't been mind-blowing this season, I think the
Star's numbers have never been mind-blowing.
They just work well
did
together.
His job. He was a big dude who took up 2 blockers every time. And that allowed KK to do his job, and that allowed Luke and Thomas to do their job.
Yeah.
I've said since the day that KK got that contract, which he 100% deserved, but he was never going to have another 11-sack season like he did in 2015. Defensive tackles don't do that. I know Aaron Donald's doing that now, but Aaron Donald's he's the best defensive player in the league.
Yeah.
But defensive tackles don't do that generally. So the expectation from this fan base, which I'm going to call a spade, can be delusional from time to time. He's doing a good job, but because he's not getting the sacks, people don't appreciate it. They don't understand it.
Right.
And the same thing with Star. Star never got sacks. What do you have, 5 sacks in 5 years here?
But he stuffed the middle like none other.
But he stuffed the middle. Yeah. And we can't say the same for Poe this year. We can't say the same for your boy Vernon Butler Jr., Yeah.
Which by the way, Kyle Love has done well. And it's sad to say that somebody in a situation of they don't know where their next job is going to be in Kyle Love and somebody who the franchise was basically turning over the leaf to in Vernon Butler as far as his position and potentially starting. It's really sad to see Kyle Love giving more of an effort than Vernon Butler.
Yeah, and that's actually coming in through the comments right now. Kyle should be starting instead of Vernon, so it's definitely an interesting one. So,
is Vernon starting tonight?
I think
I can't imagine that it's not Kyle Love and KK tonight.
Yes, you can. You know who your coach is.
Well, good point, but
well, hey,
well played, sir.
Let's get to another one of these cards. We'll go offensive for you, Chris. Like I said, this is kind of a weird one because the Cowboys only put up 13 points, but the Bucs had to put up 48. So you really kind of get two differences as far as how many points you need to put up to beat the Saints. How many points do the Panthers need to score tonight for you to feel comfortable that they're in this game?
70. I mean, I honestly don't think. I mean, I'd prefer them to score 70, but I honestly think this is going to be a relatively low-scoring affair. I think the over/under on is 53.5, which I think is pretty fair. I can't remember what I said to you guys earlier, but I think it was going to be a 27-20 kind of game. I think that we're going to hang around and give them all we can. I think the Saints know where they're going to be in the playoffs. They're probably not going to show their full hand tonight. But then again, Sean Payton probably wants to embarrass us. Cam Jordan wants to embarrass us. That Drew Brees wants to go out and light it up. He's trying to win MVP for the first time in his career. So I still think it's going to be a pretty low-scoring affair for the matchup at 27-20. But if we could score 70, I think we could win. I'd give you an 80% chance of us winning if we score 70.
You really think 27 points is all they put up on our D?
I didn't say that they were going to score 27 points.
Oh, cute. I like it. So you think we're going to – okay. I see where you're going with this.
The thing that scares me too, though, is, with the Rams losing, Saints, I'm sure, see opportunity. They're not a team that misses opportunities. We are, unfortunately. And do you think that fires them up a little extra tonight, saying this win could really be instead of
guys? I think the second half of this game they're going to be taking it somewhat easy. I don't think that they're going to play. I mean, Drew Brees will play the full game because he always plays the game. Mm-hmm. But I think that they're going to take the gas off the pedal and kind of coast through this one because they can't afford injury. They only have 4 receivers. Yeah, Mose Frazier would be their number 2 right now.
Well, that was my question is, do you think that they shoot for that opportunity or still play it safe? I guess you might see a tale of two halves, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know. I still think it's going to be a low-scoring affair.
Well, the thing that scares me is the way that the Saints have been playing in winning their games is they've been going up by a lot early so that they basically shut down your run or your ability to run.
Aren't they still fighting for home field?
Yeah, I
thought that they're in control of that now.
Yeah.
Because they and the Rams have the same record now, right?
Yeah.
No, I think they're a game better than the Rams.
The Rams don't. I think they lost their third game, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so after tonight, the Saints will have 3.
And don't the Saints have the head-to-head on the Rams?
Yeah. So that's why I'm saying this is a big opportunity for them to even go, take a big one. So
okay.
Let's go to one more card here, and we kind of talked about it earlier, but an MVP level game by ex-Panther tonight is a key to getting their win. Which player really needs to step up and play a good game? And we talked about it earlier. It is the D line. You can say it, Dante Jackson, you can say Cam Newton, but really, if you can't pressure Drew Brees, this Panthers, the way they've been playing, literally has no shot. So. I hate to say it, but this is the game that Poe has to do. In short, and Butler have to do something. They have to show that they're on this team. Have to show they're worth that money. Yeah. Or this is going to be a long day with Drew Brees just sitting back there, bouncing around, taking 2 hops, and just throwing the big play. It could be Pittsburgh level if there's no rush tonight. I hate to say it.
It could probably be worse because Pittsburgh took their foot off the gas. Like Sean Payton ain't doing that.
Yeah.
And I think I'm seeing a lot of comments in here saying that Cam Newton and Luke Kuechly are the ones that need to have MVP games. Newsflash, they've had those MVP games and we've still lost this season. Okay, so it's more than just those 2 guys that need to have MVP-like games. It's sometimes it's not your best players that need to have MVP-like games. Sometimes it's the guys like Chris Clark that need to have an MVP game.
Yeah.
A guy like Vernon Butler Jr. that needs to have an MVP game. Sometimes it's guys like Mike Adams that need to have an MVP game. It's not always your best players that need to play the best on the field. Sometimes their okay is better than most people's best. Mm-hmm. So we need X factors in this game to come alive, and we need somehow, I don't know if we need Jesus Christ himself to ascend from the heavens, but we need somebody to come down and help this defensive line tonight. If we get like thrashed tonight, there's no reason at all that Ron Rivera should be here next season.
And I didn't even read a lot of these like answers. Thanks to you guys for putting these comments in. This one was actually a pretty good one. Pretty spread out here. Sorry, special teams is a good answer to that. I think that that does play a big role, and not just field goals. I mean, that's like punt returns and punt position, field position, period.
Yeah, but don't you think outside of actual returns, the coverages, the punt. I mean, have we had a punt block this year?
No.
Haven't had a field goal blocked either, have we? He just straight misses them.
Yeah. The uprights have a few blocks this year.
Yeah, I feel like outside of the return game, Ngano's brain injury, that for the most part, especially, he's been pretty solid this year. They haven't given up a return that cost us a game.
Well, I think more so because so here's a stat. I just for some reason was looking at our special teams the other day. We averaged negative 3.2 yards per return.
Is that number one? Are we number one?
We're like we're towards the bottom. We're like bottom 5, I think.
Who's worse than that?
Someone asked me an interesting question: is do you feel better with Barner back there?
Yes, you do, because Barner did this in Philly. Here's the thing about Barner: when he catches the ball, watch him. Watch him walk off the field. He is smacking the football. He's fussing when he walks off the field because he just came from a team that blocked for him, that gave him at least an opportunity to make a move. We're not even giving him opportunities to run 2 yards.
Hasn't he had a couple fumbles this year?
I can't remember. I can't recall.
He's had at least 2.
He's really fast in Madden, so I can get on board with that. I do like that.
It has to get to the point where you have to give your playmakers a chance to make plays, right? You have to. And it's no different than when Christian McCaffrey gets the ball out of the backfield and we're yelling at the offensive line and the tight ends to block. It's the same thing with Kenyon Barner. Like, it's hard to say what he's doing and what he's not doing if he ain't getting the right creases and separation to get. Like, it's just unfair. When you look at our punts, and they're good punts by Pilardi. It's not like we don't have a good punter.
One of the best punters in the league.
Punts.
Yeah.
They are. They're great punts. There's just no space. So by the time he catches the ball, somebody's right here in front of him. Like, what would happen if we had some decent blocks where we could get between 7 and 15 yards on returns? That makes a big difference.
I'll tell you what would happen. Ben Jacobs would block somebody in the back and it'd get called back.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, actually, we have
Chris, you just got a shout out for that swetter, by the way.
Yeah, people liking the sweater. Nice sweater.
You guys are the one at a funeral. I'm over here getting sauced up to cope.
Hey man, hey, listen, this is a funeral for the Saints tonight, baby.
I love it.
Oh, is that what it is?
Well, spread wise, I've been talking to a lot of people. I think this game is going to be close as far as New Orleans is. I think it went down to -6. It was 6.5. It was 7 at one point. Down to 6.5. Down to 6. Looks like people are kind of buying into the fact that Carolina might be able to pull this out as far as this is all they got. Backs against the wall. This is who you are. We're going to play I hate to use the word our Super Bowl because we saw what happened. We actually played a Super Bowl, or 2 of them. But
ooh, Kelvin Benjamin played a Super Bowl this year. Remember that?
Yeah, he did.
Preseason. Kelvin Benjamin also caught a pass this past weekend.
Yeah.
Did he really?
Yeah, 17 yards.
Wow. How many you drop?
He was only targeted once for 1 catch.
Whoa, 100% catch game.
Not bad.
And he had to fight for it, guys. So
stop.
Might be seeing a new KB.
Stop.
He did.
We'll bring him back. No. So what do you guys think as far as a realistic prediction of this game? We're going to get going in just a few minutes here. Let everyone get settled in for the game. But line seems to be moving down. Chris, do you honestly think that the Panthers can at least let the fans hold on and let us hold on for one more week and not mail it in right now? What do you think?
I feel like I have to be the guy who carries the torch for the crazies. You know, you tend to be realistic. You know, Bobby's very fact-based, but I believe I'm the only one who's picked the Panthers to win 14 consecutive weeks this year.
Yep.
I'm not stopping now, baby.
Okay.
Panthers 70, Saints 22.
It's at least not a road game, and I'm not sitting next to Zach, so I mean, really anything can happen here. But
there you go.
I didn't mention a lot of the when we put out how many points does this Panthers team need to score. I saw a lot of 31s, a lot of 34s, 35s. So it looks like you guys on the comments are kind of agreeing, saying the Panthers at least need to score 30 points. I think they'll get around there. I honestly think this is going to be a little more lower scoring of a game. Ron might actually tighten up this defense here in the biggest game of the year. You know the Saints. You've seen this team. You were swept by them 3 times last year. I think the Panthers can win this game, and I don't know why, but I'm just seeing the score of 28-24 and make me stay up all night. And I just really hope that they can do it. I don't know. Just show me something. I don't want to mail it in early December. Bobby, realistically, what happens tonight?
Realistically, first and foremost, I'm gonna say it. First and foremost, we need to stop pretending like we're a good team. And I'm really tired of people saying I'm negative because I don't want to drink the Kool-Aid. Like, if you take your fan lenses off and you take a look at this team and the teams we've beaten and the teams we've lost to, especially over the last 5 games, there is nothing in anybody's brain that's not a Panthers fan other than hope that would say we win this game tonight.
And hope is a dangerous thing.
And then the saddest part about it is we have the tools and we have the players to win this game. We have the tools and the players to beat some of the best teams in the league, but we don't have the coaches to push them and put them in their best opportunity and predicaments to win. So because of that, I cannot pick the Carolina Panthers to win this game. It's not because I don't believe that Cam Newton will come out and try. It's not because I don't believe that these guys will come out and play inspired football. It's just because if hypothetically this game is close in the 4th quarter, I know that Ron Rivera, even if he pulls every riverboat trick out, I know that Ron Rivera will somehow, some way, even on a 4th and 3, decide to put some of the worst personnel in the game to make those decisions. So just because he turns in the riverboat and he goes for it on 4th and 3, that does not make it a smart move if you don't have your best players in. He doesn't play his best playmakers, and for that reason, I cannot pick the Carolina Panthers to win tonight.
Well, and I think that I think that you said it best. I mean, Riverboat turned into Riverboat because he literally had no other choice.
Yeah, it was that or get fired.
It was literally, I don't get this 4th down or I'm out of a job, and And I think that you're going to see that again. Yeah, if you see Riverboat Ron making good decisions tonight, it's probably not a decision that he would make in like early November. So yeah, I'm with you on that. That doesn't impress me. So apparently Randy Moss did just pick the Panthers to win tonight. And I don't know, man. The biggest, the funniest thing about these games is everyone asks me for fantasy advice, and I'm literally like the worst person to ask about fantasy advice. But something that a lot of people asked me this week were, should I start DJ Moore or Curtis Samuel? And I said, well, listen, DJ Moore is going to get the targets. He's probably going to get the snaps, but Samuel generally gets more of the big play, right? And I think might have more touchdowns, doesn't he?
I think he does. Sure.
I think so, though.
Yeah.
I think DJ only saw the end zone like twice, 2 or 3 times, right?
So if I was to ask you, Bobby, who has a bigger game tonight, DJ Moore or Curtis Samuel?
Well, it's really difficult to answer that question, but if I were to give a direct answer, it would have to be DJ Moore just because of his snap percentage. Curtis Samuel is just something he makes the most out of his snaps. But DJ Moore, on the other hand, is going to get more opportunities.
So, Bobby, something you should have said was interesting for me. He makes the most out of his snaps. What if we play that guy more and we get the most out of his snaps on more snaps?
There you go. That would make sense, right?
I'm just doing the math here. He could have 85 touchdowns.
So. I mean, if you really think about it, I mean, it's just we are in a mode of if we don't win a championship during the Luke Kuechly and Cam Newton eras, you can honestly tell yourself it wasn't because we didn't have the talent. It's because we didn't play our best talent.
Yeah.
Preach it.
And apparently, Curtis Samuel does have more fantasy points, and I know that this is actually generally the playoff or championship week for fantasy football.
This is usually semifinal.
So good luck to you guys out there. This is exactly where I would have the best team in the league and then put up like 30 points against like
that
150.
happened to me this week.
Yeah, I was the number one team in the league one year, and I blew everyone away. And in the championship, I got embarrassed, and I never did fantasy football again
because everybody was rested.
Yeah.
That happens. I mean, a lot of players get rested, or like a little knick-knack injury happens, and they're like, you know what, you're too important for our playoff run. Just sit. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, coming in the comments there, a lot of people saying the stadium's looking empty. I'm hoping everyone's just at the Roaring Riot tailgate and just coming over soon. It's
filling in a little.
Why is everyone shocked?
It has to be rocking tonight, though.
What is the shocker? What is the shocker? Why? I don't understand. Like, why is anyone shocked that a team that's not good would have a half-empty stadium? Not good? No fans. Good? We show up.
It's an easy equation, I guess. When you put it that way.
The joke's on us, Bob, because we already paid for the tickets.
I mean, yeah. The joke's on us. But here's the thing. This is the way I feel, and I think as fans, we have to stop feeling like we have to give the team our all when they don't give us their all. We don't have to show up every week for them.
Hold on.
Well, according to CJ Anderson, we have no effect on the
players give us their all. It's like it's like the drum you've been banging, man. It's the coaching staff.
Yeah,
it is for the most part.
And I don't ever walk away from a game and think, Luke Kuechly could have done a little more, or Cam Newton could have ran over one more linebacker. I would have been happy. Right. So I can't question their effort. I can question the play calling. I can question the scheme. I can question the decision to put the players on the team. But for the most part, when those guys are out there, there hadn't been a guy in a long time that I questioned his desire to be out there.
You're lying.
Woo!
Vernon Butler.
Yeah, man, I just don't think he's that good. It's not his fault he got drafted.
I don't think he tries. Like, he jogs on plays.
It's not his fault he got drafted in the first round.
You say KK jogs too, though.
KK, I caught him jogging one time, which he could have sacked Baker Mayfield, and he jogged and he watched him run. He's in the end zone.
Dude, I hate to tell y'all, but Baker's good. That guy's greasy. He can escape the pocket.
You can't. I don't know. I can't buy saying that giving KK crap about not being able to catch Baker. I'm with you on that, Chris.
Baker wasn't running fast.
Yeah,
Baker literally was tiptoeing.
Yeah, but when Baker's going half speed, that's still faster than KK can go full speed.
Here's the thing. Like, as a defender, you have to know I'm going to run my fastest just in case this guy doesn't see me and he comes back my way. Like, you have to know that. Like, as a defender, especially on defensive line, you got to push him out. You got to push him as far out as you can. Like, you don't give him an opportunity to plant his feet. Like, you got to keep him on the move. And he kind of like gave up. But Baker Mayfield, I'm not buying that juice yet. Just like I didn't buy the Jared Goff juice. Baker Mayfield, I think he has an opportunity to be very, very dangerous in this league.
Well, Jared Goff's on a pretty big slide as well.
I think Baker's going to be better than Jared Goff.
Oh, yeah.
I think he will be too.
I think Baker's going to be better than Darnold. I think he's going to be better than who was the other quarterback?
I don't know. I like Sam Darnold.
Josh Allen.
No. Josh Allen was this year. The Jared Goff draft.
Oh, Wentz?
Wentz, yeah. Long term, I think Baker's going to be better than Wentz. I know Wentz has got a Super Bowl ring thanks to Big Dick Nick, but
I was going to say Nick might be that quarterback. If Nick can win games,
dude, Philly has turned on Carson Wentz. It's incredible.
And you know last year.
It's incredible.
You know what's interesting is when we went there for the Panthers and Eagles game, I said this is the only place that I've seen half the stadium have the backup quarterback's jersey. Like, people love Nick Foles there. And that's a weird thing to me.
Again, though, he won them a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, you got it. I mean,
but I'm saying that's a weird thing if you're the Eagles and you're the GM.
And he's been there for, 7 total years, including his first stint? I mean, he was the starter there for a few years, and he was a good starter. Also, you got to realize, dude, and I saw this in Cleveland, a lot of people like to buy one jersey and stick with it for 20 years.
It's true.
So Nick Foles had a 7-touchdown game a couple years ago, and I'm sure a lot of them thought that was the answer to their prayers and invested finally.
That's a fact. I can agree with that.
I saw people wearing Jake Delhomme Browns jerseys, not out of irony.
Oh yeah, no, people. I saw those too. He's one of the best quarterbacks they've had.
I still got my Jake Delhomme jersey, by the way.
Anyways, guys,
I'm looking at 3 of them.
Nice.
This game is approaching. I'm going to let everyone get to the game here, guys. This is you just can't. Just don't do a 2018 Panthers start, which would be get our hopes up, drive down the field, touchdown on 2 plays. Yeah, and I think I think that does something mentally. I don't want to say Cam, but I mean to the whole offense when they go out and they they're having trouble scoring in the red zone as it is. When they go out there and score an early touchdown, and they're back on the field in like 3-4 plays, they fall apart. Yeah, and I think that affects the whole game sometimes. And obviously, going up in a lead here against the Saints is very important. So we'll see. That coin toss always freaks me out. I don't like when the Panthers receive. And I know that basically the Saints will kick this ball to the Panthers. So,
I mean, let's keep it real, man. As long as I see these guys give effort tonight, and not a bunch of dumb decisions and crucial moments happen, I expect us to lose, right? And I'm just being honest. I expect us to lose. I would be so overjoyed if we did win, but all I'm looking for is effort. I know guys are hurt. I know our lineup looks weird, depending on who's going to be where. But I just want to see the effort into the clock. It's 0-0s. Yep. If we lose, I will not complain as long as we give everything we have. But I cannot accept losing watching this guy just throw 50-yard bombs. And I can't accept that.
That's what I said. Right? I said if this game ends bad, it's going to be a very, very long and awkward offseason for a lot of people. And I think TD, we talked about TD on the pod taking the blame and stepping up. I mean, cool, you can tweet that, but let's see.
And I think 2 out of 3 of us also saw right through it.
Oh no, right. I'm just saying we mentioned that, but let's see if that's just words or if there is something behind TD's momentum.
Shaq Thompson was talking too this week. Shaq Thompson was running his
mouth. Sean Golden was clapping this week.
He was.
Yeah, it's just like, guys, I don't want to hear any of that anymore.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to hear it. Like, and I'm not trying to be a jerk towards some of our beloved players, but I don't want to hear about it anymore. I don't want to hear it. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't want to hear about drip. I want to hear about, we're gonna, you can put everything on me. I don't want to hear that pity party. I want to see you get out here, and I want to see you do what you do. I want to see why you get paid what you get paid. Like, I'm just tired of it.
Show me it.
And to be real, Cam Newton can only do but so much with the shoulder issue. So guys really have to help him out. Mm-hmm. Like, they really have to help him out. What I'm more interested in seeing tonight more than anything is, will Devin Funchess return back to getting the amount of targets that he got before?
No way.
Or are they still lying about this injury?
Way.
I mean, Devin had 39% of the snaps last week.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, basically, anybody who
really?
Yeah, 39%.
He did. Anybody who has a bad
game, and it was noticeable because we were talking about it in the stands. Zach was like, "Is Funchess not playing?" And I was like, "I haven't seen him." And then he ran on the field for a play. We were like, "All right, there he is." So,
well, I mean, it normally happens with the fake injuries that Ron Rivera makes up. I mean, he's a liar. Ron Rivera lies all the time. He makes up injuries versus having the balls. Mm-hmm. Like, instead of having the testicular fortitude, as one Vince McMahon would say.
Woo!
Instead of him having that, yes, I love Vince McMahon. Instead of him having that, he makes up stuff. Instead of him saying, you know what, like Bill Belichick will say, guys don't perform, they don't have the right to be on the field. Instead of him owning up and manning up and saying that, he just makes up stuff. And it's like, we're not buying that Devin Funchess was okay. Then he has a 5-drop game in Detroit, and all of a sudden he has this nagging injury. Stop it, Ron. You're a liar, and I cannot wait. I will celebrate when you are no longer the Panthers.
Hey, Bobby, to be fair, you can't put a lack of heart on the injury report. Boom.
God dang it, you're right. I can't even argue with that one.
We'll go out with that one. Again, KK Short active tonight. Vernon Butler also active. And just coming out now, Marshall Newhouse is actually listed as the starter coming out of the tunnel for Chris Clark.
Woo! All right, guys. We'll see at halftime where we go ahead and take it to mock draft season.
That's an interesting one.
Who the Panthers are going to be looking at number 12.
We'll leave you guys with that one. Marshall Newhouse will be out there at left tackle, and season on the line, everything and the kitchen sink at the Saints tonight. And hopefully we're talking about a big one. Thanks for joining on with us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. And we will...
MySpace.
MySpace, Friendster, yeah. And if all goes well, I think we might be on a halftime, too, if you want to come hang out with us. We'll
be talking Ed Oliver in the first round.
We'll talk to you then.
The
all right,
Panthers
guys.
will be up 20-10 at halftime.
Keep pounding, guys.
Book it, Dano.